smarts and my...
He told me enough.
No, I.
Here's Chuck.
If you think this guy is mortified and angry as fuck by what he has just witnessed on YouTube today, well, so am I. Now, before I get into this trailer, it's Don G. Corleone here, and I'm here with a brand new trailer rant reaction, and this is going to be for one that was long predicted to happen. As you can tell by this guy that won't fucking leave the camera, doesn't want to because he's way too mad. Like, this guy may be a killing machine, but even he's fucking angry and wants to kill this. This is going to be for the trailer rant reaction to an upcoming sci-fi horror sequel, Alien Romulus. A next film being done by Fede Alvarez. Yes, and just from the looks of it, it looks like another one of those things that's going to try to connect the first two films like Prey did, and that movie sucked ass from 2022, and now Disney Fox is trying to do the same with Alien. Make more of these damn films instead of instead of making a direct-to-video, not direct-to-video, it's not even shittier, but direct sequel to Aliens, what people long wanted. One that actually keeps Ellen Newt Bishop Hicks alive. Instead of having that movie Neil Blomkamp was going to give us. We keep getting prequels from Ridley Scott about David. And now we're getting, looks like another teen popcorn horror movie in the Alien universe. Now, but anyway, let's get started on this in 3, 2, and 1. It's turned off. Let's just start the trailer here. Here we go. Yeah, Fede Alvarez doesn't automatically make something good, guys. And just by this shot of the blood there, this just looks like a film that's just gonna be gore. Alien's not just about jump scares and gore. Does Fede Alvarez not understand that? Or really Scott? Yep. And on my soul, Romulus is probably a shitty title for a new film. And this has to come out 4 days after my birthday. Oh, nice. Great. That is very nice to hear. Alright, anyway, guys, since he's clawing up the poster with his hands, that was pretty much the end of me watching the Alien Romulus trailer. And here we go, guys. Now let's do the whole thoughts on these movies. Like, here's the thing. Before I get into criticisms, people can bitch at me saying, but Fede Alvarez did this and it directed the Evil Dead remake and you love that movie. And, guys, one film. That was one. Just because it's from the director of Evil Dead 2013, when does that automatically make a movie good? And name the last time Fede Alvarez has been worth a shit. Name one. What about Don't Breathe? I haven't watched Don't Breathe in ages. And I don't know how it holds up well. I don't know how it would hold up today, but even I had problems with Don't Breathe. Like, for one, like, nobody in Don't Breathe, nobody was really a protagonist. Everyone was actually bad and a scumbag. Even the old guy pretty much was. You even find that out in the middle of the film when he has a turkey bastard scene. Even he's not just as bad as the robbers. So no, there wasn't really a protagonist worth rooting for in Don't Breathe. Nobody was really worth rooting for. But then you had Girl in the Spider's Web. And guess what, guys? That was a shitty reboot. And a shitty attempt at a sequel to one of David Fincher's best works, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Instead of making an actual sequel of Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara, this is the shit they give us. Instead, replace Rooney Mara with an actress who clearly sounds like she's talking out of her ass, like Ace Ventura probably always talks out of his ass. Probably just sounds like anyone who would probably talk shit out of their ass like Ace Ventura does. It's like, this actors who can't fucking act, and it fucking bombed. It didn't even make a single dollar. Like, Girl with Dragon Tattoo made a decent amount of money. Girl in Spider's Web barely made zero. Then you had the sequel to Don't Breathe 2, where they basically just try to make another typical rescue and revenge story with the old man as the protagonist now. Yeah, just basically turn to a blind old man John Wick. Another typical Guy Dobson tries to save a little girl's story. And that's impossible and it's impossible because it's like Fed just wanted us to sympathize with the old guy with the turkey bastard. And tried to rape a chick. Yeah, this kind of sequels I love. What else? Oh, guess what else? Guess what, guys? You want to know what he did last? He didn't direct this movie, but he sure shit produced it. Yeah, it was a film in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. Guess which one it was? It was the one from 2022, about the dumbass cancel culture people. Yeah, the cancel culture ridden one from Netflix was the one he produced. Yeah, the one about the dumbass people on the bus, and the only reason the bus stuff happens is because the people are too stupid shit for brains to get off. They're about as stupid as the fish from Bikini Bottom and SpongeBob. Literally. And then of course, they try to do Halloween 2018 again with Sally, except the only thing, Sally doesn't prep shit to get her revenge on Leatherface, just brings a fucking shotgun, and then she dies instantly the minute she counters him. And then of course also, we're literally about two dumbass teenage girls who don't like or care about, and they just whine about moving out of town. I want to move out of town. How about you shut up the fuck up? And guess what they do? They defeat Leatherface for Sally. They don't check if he's fucking dead. And they just saw his fucking chest and don't try to chop off his head with the chainsaw. Or go back down and then cut off all his limbs and his head with the chainsaw to go down and make sure he's dead. They just fucking leave when he falls down. Even though he's clearly not dead. Then they get into their auto-drive car. They still talk about moving out of town again. And then, of course, guess what? Leatherface obviously shows up. Takes out one of the girls. Cuts off her head with a chainsaw. Starts breakdancing down the fucking street. Literally swinging his chainsaw just to recreate the first movie's ending. And the girls just won't stop fucking screaming the film's over. Yeah, I produced that shitty one from Netflix 2 years ago. That one. So, there's your answer. Just because it says Fed Alvarez doesn't make something good. And all Fed Alvarez's movies have sucked lately. And another thing, but they're going to the horror route to the first film. What horror routes? All this trailer makes this movie look like is just scares and gore. Okay, first of all. When I watch films like, this movie and this movie, it's not about gore and jump scares. No, these two films are about a good story, good characters like Ellen Ripley that you root for, that you connect to, you root for here, and root for to survive. There's actually good tension in this. It wasn't about jump scares. Like, this scene you had an alien, crawler bursting out of John Hurt's chest that actually works because it's not a cheap jump scare and it's unexpected. And the actors' reactions were real because they were not told about this. That adds to the fear factor right here. Like Ellen Ripley, literally, she's the last one standing, and she defeats this one alien through her intelligence and actually ejects it all the way from outer space, and she goes into hyperspace mode to try to return to Earth. But of course, sadly, she ends up actually trapped in space for 57 years. And she finds out, and then by this movie, she awakens 57 years later found by a bunch of Marines. And then she finds out her daughter's dead. And then she has to pretty much help the Marines take down the aliens to go back home to Earth. And then while they're on Earth, in this movie, she finds this little girl named Newt who lost her family to the aliens. And then, of course, right there, like, Ellen Ripley goes through a lot of shit in this whole movie. Literally almost getting her life killed to save Newt. And really you really feel this movie, you felt the connection with Newt and Ellen right there. It's pretty much, Ellen pretty much lost her daughter, but by the end of this movie, when Newt's about to be killed by the alien queen, Ellen then shows up in that giant robot in this epic entrance, like, get away from her, you bitch, and starts punching the shit out of the alien queen, ejects it to outer space, and then then Newt calls Ellen mommy finally, and then Bishop's all dismembered from the attack earlier. It's like, not bad for a human. And you get that beautiful score playing in the background, and right there. And then by the end of it, they're about to go into hypersleep mode as they go back to Earth finally. And Newt's like, are we gonna sleep all the way home? All the way home. Can I dream? I think we both can. They're both at peace now. The alien species is dead. They can finally go back and live their life on Earth. Newt gained a new family. Ellen Ripley gained a new daughter. Right here, it's a beautiful teary-eyed ending right there. It was a nice way to end this good little story arc. Guess what happened? No. You want to know what they did? Because we all know Fox went and made Alien fucking 3, which is one of the worst movies I've seen in my life, as you all know. But then, of course, and because Sigourney Weaver had to be all entitled during production with the anti-gun movement and asked to be killed off. But then, of course, they make Alien Resurrection later, so her shitty death means nothing anyways. And somehow she got integrated with a face hugger, which never happened in the first film. Don't you think maybe she should have been attacked in the first one if that was supposed to be a justified ending? But then, of course, she comes back 200 years later, cloned in Alien Resurrection, because Sigourney Weaver changed her mind and wanted to do that. And that was also, and Alien Resurrection was bad, but at least unlike Alien 3, which is spit in your face bad, and just a perfect, absolute disrespect and curb stomp like American History X to the people who love this movie, I would rather be forced to sit through Resurrection 900 times than rewatch Alien 3. Because at least Ron Perlman makes the movie watchable, even if that Resurrection is terrible. And then guess what, guys? It got worse because we had the AVP movies. If you don't count the AVP movies in Alien, then Alien 3 is the worst one. But if you do count the AVP movies, AVP Requiem is worse. Like, you know, guys, Alien vs. Predator, the first film, was PG-13. And that pissed off a lot of fans because they're not PG-13 characters at all. So Fox decided to make the sequel R-rated. Guess what, guys? They didn't know what. They did not learn anything from these two movies, or hell, even these two movies they didn't learn from when they were doing Predator as well, since it's called Alien vs. Predator. Apparently they thought R-rated means gore, but it also, not just because it was so dark as shit you couldn't see, but also because that's not the gore we want. When we want gore in Alien and Aliens, we want it to be actually out of nowhere and actually big to build up terrifying. Like, these two movies are not about gore and jump scares and teen popcorn stuff. Like, the kind of gore we don't want to see in an Alien movie. Yes, we know that these guys kill children. It's obviously implying aliens because they try to kill Newt. We sure shit don't need to see it graphically on camera. Sure shit don't need to see a dad and his son be face hugged and a chest burster burst out of a kid on screen. We sure shit don't need to see the Pred alien obviously off screen kill a bunch of crying infants. Even though that's dark as shit to see, you could tell they're infants because you can clearly see the infants in the hospital. And then, of course, you sure also as shit don't need to see the Pred alien go after a pregnant lady whose water breaks. and then lay a bunch of aliens inside her fetus and eat up her fetus and burst out of her belly, because apparently that's supposed to be gore, good gore to the psychopath brothers Strauss, who probably belong in an asylum and definitely don't belong to shit near a school, if they think that's entertainment. And then you got the release, and then of course those bombed, so thankfully we did not get a third AVP movie, but instead we got like prequels by Ridley Scott. I vaguely remember the prequels, but people were, like, seriously, people were divisive on Prometheus, some really hated it, some hated Alien Covenant more, so that we're not going near the prequels now. Instead of, like, and you think, like, maybe we'd finally get that proper sequel that Neil Blomkamp was going to give us. A proper sequel to Aliens that completely destroys the disgrace called Alien 3. No. What it looks like we're going to be getting here is literally a teen popcorn slasher, just set in outer space. One that just relies on gore, one that just relies on crude humor, one that just literally relies on just trying to be all jump scare-like. Even though, like, they should have learned from AVP Requiem, Alien and Aliens aren't about gore and trying to be all scary. And people also could be saying this is going to be set between Alien and Aliens, so maybe we'll see how Alien and Aliens connect. We already had that installment. It's called Alien Isolation, the video game. We already had a installment set between those. Surprised people don't know about that. And this looks like it has no connection. What's going to connect to this? I don't see any of the Marines being built. I sure don't see, like, a younger Bishop, or a younger Hicks. I sure as shit don't see any reference of the first film in here, even though this is the teaser. All we see are literally just a gory space bed with gore stains on it. It just looks like another wannabe Evil Dead 2013 set in outer space. This is all this movie looks like. So how does this look good? And don't say because it's directed by Fed Alvarez. Don't say it's being set between Alien and Aliens. Don't say it's not being set during the prequels. Don't say it can't be worse than the prequels. Because I learned this with The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Anything always can be worse. Anything always can be worse, guys. So don't say it can't be worse. Because anything can be in today's world. Lots can be in today's world, right? So yeah, you already got these two good movies right here. And if this is supposed to be connecting these two movies, I'm already further not excited for this. Like, because guys, if you remember 2 years ago's Prey, that was supposed to be connecting these two movies together. And even that film fucking sucked. Prey was an overrated piece of shit. And so would probably be this. So, go back together there. So yeah. The only reason I'd go watch this is just so I can just make a updated Alien ranking. Maybe destroy this, but he clearly seems mad about this as well. We're both so mad in the end, but honestly, I don't care. This movie, I think, looks like it already will fucking suck. I'm not excited for this bullshit. This trailer was not scary. Nothing in this trailer amuses me. It's like it's just trying to be a bumhouse flick. The end. So yeah, anyway, guys, that'll be it for this trailer reaction rant. Thank y'all for watching. If you like this, want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Don G. Corleone.